you know, it's easy to get discouraged about politics, and certainly I spent most of the last decade deeply discouraged. In particular, as a Vietnam veteran, I was discouraged that we had blundered into Iraq, blundered into Afghanistan, repeating the same deep moral mistakes we'd made in Vietnam. It's as if we learned nothing. And I looked around, and yes, you could find a small group of protesting on the corner of Colorado and Eagle Rock. You could find an occasional protest, but the war machine just ground on and on and on, and people went on with their lives as if it didn't matter. And I found that unbelievable. One big problem that I saw with politics is that so few people are engaged. Sharon and I live in northeast Los Angeles in a nearby community right down the hill from our house. It's one of the poorest communities in Los Angeles, and off-year elections there are oftentimes decided with 7, 8, or 9% of the people voting. At 8% of a community voting, you can't really call that democracy. And as I said, that's a very poor community. It's not a rich community with private police departments and private schools and private roads and gated communities. It's a community that needs a police department that serves the community, needs much better schools than it had. So I think, you know, before we spend too much time pointing at the political structure and politicians, we need to point a finger at ourselves and say, what are we doing? So I'm encouraged. That's partly why I'm encouraged that this new community that has typically been somewhat arm's length from politics, the spiritual community, is trying to come into play. I think that'll be a good thing all around.